My Last Duchess by Robert Browning. This is part third of the presentation. The structure of the poem is iambic pentameter. 5 heavy beats per line are there. You can mark on the syllable beats in the lines over every vowel sound. Or blush at least. She thanked men good, but thanked them somehow, I know not how. This suggests that she thanked them in some other way which the Duke could not know. Somehow I know not how, as if she ranked my gift of a 900 years old name with anybody's gift. There is a simile in this line, as if she ranked, as if anything was as good as his ancient family name. Who would stoop to blame this sort of trifling? Stoop is to bow low. Trifling is small and silly behavior, and to blame is to criticize. Who would stoop to blame this sort of trifling? Even had you skill in speech, which I have not. This is fake modesty. He can speak well really, but pretends that which I have not. To make your will quite clear to such an one, and say, just this or that in you disgusts me. Here you miss, or there exceed the mark. And if she let herself be lessoned so, nor plainly set her wits to yours, forsooth is in truth, and make excuse, even then would be some stooping. Even if you wanted to correct her errors and she listened and did not argue back or make excuses, that would mean stooping. And I choose never to stoop. I chose not to bow low. Probably these lines are the most revealing bit about the Duke. What does it tell about him? That he preferred the name of his family more than anything else. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whenever I passed her. But who passed without much the same smile? This is a rhetorical question, which means that everyone passed with the same smile. This grew. What grew? A blushing or a jealousy? The blushing or the passing of smiles to everyone grew. And I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. This is a euphemism here, which is a nicer way of saying that she was dead. I gave commands means I gave orders and had her assassinated. This shows that the Duke was powerful enough. There she stands as if alive. The Duke's thoughts return to the painting. Will it please you rise? He turns back to the listener and asks, would you like to get up? We'll meet the company below then. The Count your master's known munificence is ample warrant that no just pretence of mine for dowry will be disallowed. As the Count is generous, the Duke knows he doesn't have to ask for money as he knows he will receive it anyway. Is this his motivation to make the Count's daughter his next Duchess? Yes, definitely. This entire monologue is about the Duke promoting himself to the Count's envoy as he wants to marry the Count's daughter. Has he promoted himself well, though? Let us see. Though his fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting, is my object, nay, we will go together down, sir. Consider the setting here again. Just picture the scene. Notice Neptune, though taming a seahorse, thought a rarity, which Claus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. The Duchess' faults were qualities like compassion, modesty, humility, delight in simple pleasures, and courtesy to those who served her. Here the Duke doesn't realize how much of himself he has given away in his criticism of his former wife. I repeat, now the Duke gets down to business. The Count, your master's known munificence. The listener is an envoy or messenger sent by a count to arrange the Duke's next marriage to the Count's daughter. Munificence is generosity. Is ample warrant that no just pretence of mine for dowry is enough a guarantee, ample warrant, enough of a guarantee that no just pretence of mine for dowry, that no request from me for a dowry, that is, money paid to a husband by the bride's family, will be refused, will be disallowed. Though his fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting, is my object, although I only want her for her beauty, really, do we believe the Duke? Nay, we will go together down, sir. Notice Neptune. Neptune is Roman god of the sea. Notice Neptune, though taming a seahorse, thought a rarity, which Claus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. Claus of Innsbruck is another fictional artist made up by Browning. He returns to the subject of his art collection, which emphasizes his power and wealth. The story of his last Duchess is a subtle warning to his visitor about how he expects his next wife to behave. Notice Neptune, though taming a seahorse, thought a rarity, which Claus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me. Here are a few questions which need to be thought over. Why does the poem end with these lines? What is being suggested about the Duke, the Duchess, and their relationship? What might it suggest to the Counts and why? The feelings and attitudes in this poem are these. Pride. The Duke is very proud of his possessions, including his wife and his 900-year-old name. Jealousy. He couldn't stand the way the Duchess treated him the same as everyone else. Doesn't she know who he is? Power. The Duke enjoys the control he has over the painting. He couldn't control his wife in life. He can, as now she is dead. The majority of the Duke's monologue is spent telling the Count's envoy about his former wife, his last Duchess. During this monologue, he talks about her actions and personality, and this in turn explains his jealousy and anger. What does the Duchess do which causes the Duke to become jealous and angry? What aspects of her personality upset him? These are the questions which you need to think over and answer. Here are a few more questions for you. Do you think the Duke ever had any affection for the Duchess? Why or why not? How is the Duke's view of himself different from the way the reader sees him? Is the title of the poem effective? Why or why not? Why does the Duke show the envoy the artwork? Why does he tell him about the Duchess? Why do you think we only find out who the listener is at the end?